Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So yet again, Future James, Editor James here. Forgot to film an intro for this video at the time I was doing it, kind of because it was just one big video and project for me. So what we're doing in this video is we are finishing up the fuel system. We are building all of our lines, hooking up we're not actually wiring the ethanol content sensor in yet. I still actually have not done that, but we are running all of our fuel lines through the ethanol sensor, through the adjustable fuel pressure regulator, putting everything back together, starting the car, setting base fuel pressure. That's about it. Now I will say this is a bit of a long video, and that is because it is a bit of an eventful video. So I will just preface this a little bit. I do make a pretty big mistake with the fuel lines pretty early on, halfway through the video, and I do of course figure that out and adjust for it later in the video. So if you want to watch me waste days of work, I think you'll enjoy this. Definitely a lot to learn. It was a lot of fun though, and I've been driving the car now for, I guess it's been about 2 weeks since I got it all back together, and it's been pretty good. I am still kind of constantly tweaking the tune. It's not quite there yet, but it has been drivable. With that, we will go ahead and jump into the footage. We are going to just start getting a very, very, very rough idea of how we want to do our lines. I think I'm going to start with the return side first, and I'm going to just hook up a couple AN lines in places. Okay, so we do a 90 off the back corner there. So I think I'm going to have each rail go into a side, and then the return go out the bottom to the ethanol sensor, and then up to the heart line. Straight down. Yep, that should be pretty nice. Short little line that goes right up there. We'll put another 90 on back here. Okay, that'll come out, point down, come across, probably down under the turbo. Yeah, we'll have to do a test fit with the inlet in, and maybe it has to go under, through, and then kind of up here. Yeah, that would make sense, up here and back. Maybe through this hole, and then 90. Yeah, it's not the strongest hand in the world, but for feed, I think we're gonna do the same thing. We'll do 90s off of the front, but those will go in towards the manifold. I mean, honestly, I think the T goes right here. Just have us straight back to the firewall. Ooh, exciting, guys. It's been a long time since I made AN lines. I think we're gonna go ahead and do this short one first. So the way we're going to do that is we are going to put the hose on one side, connect it, and then that'll give us an idea of our length and flexibility. All right, so I put the first fitting on off camera. We'll do the next one together, but it's been so long that I put it together and I just kind of got carried away. Hopefully it's together. Feels right. Kind of a pain that I'm doing the shortest run with the longest amount of hose. Oh, Jesus. course, we've got the issue that the way it wants to turn is the way we need it to be. Now we can kind of see the length we need, right? So I can mark it, take it out, cut it, put the end on, and we'll have our first sectional line made. So I'll be honest, I'm not in love with this cutter. Seems like it'll work, but it pinches the hose pretty bad. So take that with if you're thinking about getting one. Oh, I was hoping if I could go quick, we'd have a better chance, but nah, fam. Yeah, see how bad. We'll see if they leak. All right, so with these PTFE fittings, when you take it apart, there is a collar inside. And I think what happens is the white part of the hose, the Teflon part, goes between that collar, and then it gets clamped down on, I think. I'm going to apply assembly grease, assembly lube. You put the other end, you put the cap on top of the hose or over the hose, and then going to push them together, kind of get it as far in as you can. And then I got to think about the orientation. This is the wrong way. It's got to be reverse, and then move the collar up and get the threads while pushing it together. And then it should get super tight if it's locking in. Yep, I see it now. I don't think I got a bunch of that on video, but I can no longer do it by hand. So I'm gonna do a quick test fit, see if our angles are good. Okay, so now we lock it down. And we've got our first fuel hose. Let's go see if it fits. Oh, look at that. Oh, you gotta be super careful with AN threads. They kind of want to cross thread and they're aluminum and super soft. Make sure that you're straight, which is very difficult because the AN line does not bend very well. All right, let's do the other one. Okay. Yep, that is on there. All right, guys, start of day 3 for me. Yesterday, my SD card ran out of space, but we got the second return line all finished up. So you can see, comes off the rail, goes down, goes back, behind, under the throttle body right now, back up, and into the side of our regulator. So we did get our Evil Energy fuel line adapter, so let's throw that on real quick, and then we can make our feed lines. I am 3D printing a bracket, a temporary bracket for the flex fuel sensor, so let's go ahead and get going here. We should be able to, hopefully we can get all of the fuel plumbing done today. I did forget to buy TGV plugs, so we won't be able to wire in the ethanol content sensor into the ECU yet. I'll need to buy 2 pigtails, one for ethanol and one for whatever else we decide to bring into the ECU. And then I'll buy those from iWire, so they'll be here middle of next week probably. Done. Okay, so like I said before, I think we're going to build lines from each side of the rail into the T, and then we'll do the line from the T up to the hard line, and then we just have to do the return with flex, put on the gauge, clean all the hoses, tighten everything down, and start putting it all back together. So let's go ahead and build this next line here. I've gone a little long on that one. Make sure that the manifold's on there. There's enough room right there. Oh, actually, that PCV connector is going to be in the way a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to do something like that. And we'll probably do a zip tie it here, zip tie it on that side. Now, make sure the inlet isn't in the way. I think it'll be fine. It is rubbing. Just barely touch it. And if we go, if it'll fit under. Nope. Yeah, we could move it like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe like right in the way of the PCV. I think we go with this original plan. Oof. This one might be a little fucking long, guys. I'm a little concerned about the PCV again. It looks super clean. So hopefully it'll work with the PCV there. So there's room, but not much. Granted, we could move the T to the passenger side a little bit more as well. One more test before we fully commit. I think we're good. Alright guys, so we had to order yet more fittings. Still not going to be perfect, but I think we have enough to do what we need. So down there you can see the Flex Fuel 3D printed bracket. That's the higher quality one. This was the prototype. So our Flex Fuel setup. And this will just go down in here and then clip in. hopefully we're able to make a piece of hose that will cover that gap. There's a little bit of flex in the hard line, so hopefully. And then I will show you guys the return, which is what I'm really not happy with. But we'll make a new line once we get more fittings. So let me go ahead and mount up the fuel pressure regulator again, and then we'll make the return line. All right, so this is the temporary return. It comes out of the bottom, down, then loops up and goes back in that 45. I need a 180 or a 150 degree off of the bottom to be able to have it loop up and back around and go straight in, I think. And then maybe even a 90 up there. So, but for now, that'll be fine. So we've got just 2 more lines to make. All right, so show you the feed line set up here. This goes back around, and then you can see the flex fuel sensor. There's a 120 down at the bottom, and then it goes up into that little section of hose, into the 90, into the feed line. So I'm pretty happy with the ethanol sensor location and setup. I don't really love this all that much, but I think this is good enough for kind of version 1 of this. We'll see if I end up redoing a bunch of it or not. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go line by line, pull it off, double check and make sure that it's actually connected, pull on the fittings, make sure they don't disconnect. Spray the hose with brake clean, blow it out with air, maybe spray it with water. Then we'll hook everything, all the fuel lines up, and probably hook up the battery and check for fuel leaks. All right, so this is it all tightened down, ready for first leak test. Fucking God. Alright, round 2. Take the hose apart, put it back together. I think it might be good. Alright, so I think it's leak free. We're going to continue on. I think next course of action would be getting the intake manifold back on. So we need to get the TGVs all set up. It looks like these PLM TGVs, they have some like adapter plate in the middle. This thing, it bolts through the bottom to the TGV, and then it adapts to the top to the manifold. So, and these spacers are directional. So let's see if I have them the correct way. And it does not look like it. It looks like I have them both reversed. I take this back out. Grab that, flip it around. Grab that, flip it around. Okay. This would have been so much better. Thought I would have done this before I put the TGVs back in the car. And this one has the coolant crossover in the way, so let's hope to God. Whew. Oh, I'm scared to drop a bolt down in the cylinder head. Fuck me. God fucking damn it. Since I got it apart. Let's bolt the TGVs down. 18.4 foot-pounds for the TGVs to head. Plug in our ejector pigtails. Probably should have done this earlier. Yeah, this would have been a lot fucking easier before. There we go. We're gonna shorten the old blow-off valve recirc into basically just enough to put it on the end with the plug. All right guys, let me try and show you the vacuum line routing for the fuel pressure dampeners. So you can see the vacuum line coming off facing the back, goes back around under the turbo inlet, follows the water pipe, crossover pipe, and comes out in the middle. The other side does the same thing, follows the pipe over. You can see this easier, goes around the back, the TGV housing, and then hooks into the dampener. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to put this port onto the EGR port that I had capped before. All right, so the next step, I think, is to put the harness back on the manifold. This ought to be interesting. We know the big plug goes on the left side. So I think the first thing I'll do is I will go ahead and put these back on. Okay. So now we know this side goes up and over. Coil packs. Okay, that will go down. Injectors. Do the ground. And then we're just gonna have to figure that the fuck out. I don't know. This must clip there. And must bolt here. We've got nothing left but plugs. And on this side, we've got nothing left but plugs. My reservoir. Boy, I did not plan for that plastic thing on the bottom, so let's see if I made a huge fucking mistake or not. Oh boy. Okay, seems like we might be okay. Alright guys, so I think it might be time to go ahead and put the manifold back on. Take out our tissues. Now these PLM TGV deletes are O-ringed, so I did buy gaskets, but you don't run gaskets and O-rings. So we're going to put the O-rings in first. All right, so like with every O-ring, we are going to lube these up first with our assembly grease or assembly lube. It'll kind of also help it stay in place and not pop out of its groove, which that one is popping out. So is that one. God fucking damn it. How did the first one go in so well? Okay, I just added more lube to it. They're all in. Wow, this is gonna be a fucking mess. Those two stayed in. Try this again. Alright, all the O-rings are still there. Put that around the coolant first. What the fuck? Oh, we're caught on something. God, now how can you be sure that the fucking O-rings are still seated? Oh. So, since we know that our problem was this harness, I am going to go ahead and lift it up and just double check our O-rings are still good. Oh, this one is not. This time I'm going to try putting some lube directly in the O-ring groove. Okay. All four are looking good. Try this again. Okay, it went on there pretty quick and pretty straight, so we're gonna go for it. Okay. I'm a little nervous about the O-rings, guys. If I am being honest, hopefully they are okay. So I'm just gonna snug everything by hand, and then we'll go through and incrementally tighten them. The side does not just sit flat, it has to be pulled down a little bit, which I'm not in love with. Okay, now let's fucking torque it. Use a non-ball for this. I've learned to do anything. Super light. Only 6 pounds. Now, let's start hooking shit back up. Coolant sensor. Let's go. Crank. Oh, that's gonna be impossible to get off if I ever need to. Air pump, injector. Unfortunately, fuel pressure dampener is in the way of running any plugs through the center. Ran the harness in front of it. Blue plug. Oh. 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 Got it. Oh. That was a fucking struggle. 5-pin, oh, probably TGV. Yep. We've just got the coils and the cam. Exhaust cam. Oh, okay. Hell yeah, let's go. Our TGV plug, leave dangling there. Coil pack. Oh, I want to get rid of this fucking air pump. Front coil pack is on. Yes. Rear coil pack is on. All right, so I think this side, besides the stuff down below, good to go. Map sensor, knock sensor, air pump shit. PCV hose is on, throttle body, I might as well. To Subaru, I picked up a fresh gasket. I'd reused the other one, like, I don't even know, quite a few times. Bro, oh my fucking God. Oh my God. The throttle body hits my fuel line. Maybe it'll fit. How did I fucking know that was gonna be a problem? I fucking knew it, bro. I fucking knew it. Yeah, it's just not, it's not gonna fucking work. Okay, so kind of a blessing in disguise that didn't fit and I had to take it all back apart. Made me realize that I was putting together my AN lines wrong. So unfortunately I need to rebuild every AN line, but at least I'll know that they're put together correctly this time because I was a little concerned before. So this is how you properly put together these PTFE lines. You put your collar over the edge first. You take that silver ferrule thing and then you actually place it over that inner liner. And you can see that it actually seats on an inner collar, an inner ridge on that ferrule. And the way I've been doing is I get it started, I go and just push straight down on the workbench and it's seated on there. And then you take the fitting and I'm gonna put a little bit of fresh assembly lube on here. The first one was pretty difficult to screw together, which is good. It means that I got it together correct. Then you're able to push these together. And now when the collar screws down on it, it's gonna compress that fitting and it will make a permanent or a leak-free seal. So kind of sucks, but let me see if this will actually work. Kind of sucks, but I'm thankful that I don't have to worry about my lines leaking now. Yeah, just rotated my soft jaws a bit more. Not even close. So it gets pretty fucking tight. I have to put it in my hip and then make sure you're got a lot of bite on there. And it gets so tight that this is where I am marring up the fittings some. Yeah. Now, oh yeah, this thing is leak free and super tight. So I'm gonna rebuild all the lines and put all this shit back together and yeah. All right guys, so it's about a week later now. Wasn't able to get it done last weekend, so I did get some new fittings and stuff and we've got this set up correctly finally. So I guess we'll start at the front of the engine. So we've got one feed, loops around, goes to a T. The other feed comes in right there. That T goes over the back, down, and into the flex fuel sensor, up the flex fuel sensor, up the flex fuel sensor into the hard line. So I am going to run flex fuel on the feed. I think that makes more sense. I want to know what's about to go into the engine, not what's already happened. And then for return, same as it was before, we've got that one coming off, loops around, goes into the side here, and then this guy comes out the back, loops all the way around, and goes up to the back on that side. And then the return to the tank, it's hard to see, but there's a 150 off the bottom of the regulator, and then it swoops up into that short, like 2-inch line. There we go. Into the tank. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this setup. I think it looks super clean. I just tested it. We've got fuel pressure, turned on the pump, no leaks. So I feel much better about this. I'm gonna go eat lunch, and then we are going to put the manifold back on and start hooking everything back up. Couple in real quick, and then we'll make sure the throttle body still lines up. Yep, 6 foot-pounds. Okay, so we're going to start in the middle back, then middle front, go back, middle front, back right, front left, back right, front left, back left, front right, back left, front right. Check everything. All right. Do believe we can do connectors now. Start rerunning the harness. I had it in there so good before. All right, guys, so my battery died. I was in the zone. We'll see how much is lost when I go to edit this, but we are in pretty good shape here. I think I've got all connectors plugged back in. I went ahead and drilled a hole in the plastic of the coolant overflow or expansion to mount the oil pressure sender. So it's pretty much just like it was before. All the plugs plugged in, obviously coolant expansion tanks back. Got the wiring harness ran pretty good. I'm not overly mad at it. I think we've got alternator, drive belt, battery, charge pipes, intake, under tray, plugging in the bottom cam sensors, and then we need to figure out how to calibrate the tune for these injectors. So let's I guess let's do alternator and the main drive belt, whatever the fuck it's called. I think we should put that other belt on first. All right, so we actually, I don't think we needed a brand new belt, but we bought a new belt so that we got the tools and the instructions. Since this is a stretch fit belt. Okay, so put the belt over and then put this thing on the crank pulley, pull the lock out, then slide the belt under and then put the lock back in. A little spicy, but I think we're good. Pile of parts is rather small. We can see intake box back in, air box back in, and then I went ahead and I ran the flex fuel line. You can see this guy. It goes over and then through the firewall, and I just pulled it down into the floor of the passenger footwell. That's where our ECA2 box will go when we hook that up. Batteries back in. So I believe all that's left is charge piping, under tray, and the bottom sensors. So I guess since everything's hooked back up, let me prime it again and make sure we don't spit fuel everywhere. At this point, we're pretty far along, so if it leaks and spits fuel everywhere, we're in for a world of hurt. Yep, we got fuel pressure, don't smell gas, don't see gas. Let's throw the charge pipes back in. Oh, not going to run very well without IAT. All right, so I've got the tune sorted. We're going to disconnect the vacuum line from the fuel pressure regulator, get ready to set base fuel pressure. We'll flash the tune, start the car, set base fuel pressure, and see where we're at. It. I think that's it for this video. In next video or coming videos, we will show you how we scale the injectors. We will obviously tune it. We'll hook up flex fuel. We'll set up the flex fuel map. We'll hook up the oil pressure sensor into Dime Mod to set up a fail-safe. Obviously, we've got to put a new turbo on. I bought a Grimspeed unequal length manifold, so that's coming. We'll do a Grimspeed up pipe. I'm not sure if we're gonna go external dump yet, because it's kind of really, or external wastegate with an external dump, or if we'll just run the internal gate until we go rotated. I'm still trying to figure that out. Drop a comment if you have an opinion on that. Super stoked. This was definitely a big project. It took me quite some time. I wouldn't say it was very hard. If you bought a kit and you didn't make your own lines and have to plan all that out, probably wouldn't have taken you as long as it took me. Taking the manifold off, it's not a big deal, guys. The plugs are super easy to figure out. They go, like, they only plug in when they're supposed to. The harness kind of puts everything roughly where it's supposed to go. So really, this was not that hard of a job. It just took a long time, and I spent the vast majority of the time remaking fuel lines, fucking with fittings, getting everything the way I wanted it. So that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, if you had fun following along, if you're excited to watch me turn up the boost, go on E85, start making some real power, if you're excited just to continue watching this series progress, definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like the video if you had fun. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you watching. Peace.